What is up, guys? So today I'm doing something a little bit different. I am actually shooting from my phone here. Wasn't really planning on making a video today, but yesterday I actually went to pick up a client of mine from the airport. Yeah, he's here in Medellin with his dad for some dental work, but the last time he was in town, he had a few girls that he was entertaining, and maybe 3 or 4, he has his roster, and of course he's sending money to all these girls and supporting them somewhat in some way. The specific amounts, I don't know, but I definitely know it's more than $50 to $100 a month. It's definitely way more than that. So, I pick him up and we're having a conversation. He's telling me the update, what happened with some of the girls and, how he has stopped sending one of them money. But essentially, he was telling me this story, which I'll get into the point here soon. So stick with me. Stick with me here. So he had a extra iPhone, that he was upgrading to. And essentially, one of the girls told him, hey, send it to me or whatever, so she could give it to her sister. Now, her sister is a grown-ass woman who has a job. I actually met the sister. We all went out to dinner one night. I was hosting them, which is one of my services. I do hosting. So, I picked up the girls that he wanted me to pick them up, and I took them to a restaurant that was close by them that I knew of. And to send the phone, it would have been like $300 or something like that. So he ended up not sending the phone. So the so-called girlfriend got upset or wasn't happy with that. And later when he talked to her, she said, oh, well, don't worry about it. My sister found a guy who is going to send her a iPhone 17 Pro Max. Now, the guy doesn't live here, and my client doesn't live here. So this goes into along with what the title is why, long distance relationships don't work here, and why you guys need to stop trying to pursue long distance relationships with Paisa women, especially Paisas. I'm not going to speak for Costeñas or in general. I'm jaded where I think it's just all Colombian women. But like I said, I can't speak 100% from experience, but given the stories that I've been told and seeing how women act, this is just my general consensus, shall we say, or my general thoughts. So he's sending her money, and then another part of this story is that the father met the girlfriend's mom and started, trying to date the mom. So the mom barely responds to my client's dad and barely texts, but the mom, and granted, the mom is in her 60s or 70s, something like that, and the mom wants him to send $300 a week, not a month, not every 6 months, but every week, which would be a total of about $1,200 a month. Now, the average Colombian is only making $400, if that, a month. And a 60 or 70-year-old woman wants another 60 or 70-year-old guy to send her $300 a week. Now, this is why I think unless you live here, sorry about that, my arm is getting tired here on that side. Like I said, I wasn't really planning on shooting this video today. This thought was just in my mind. I was like, you know what, while I'm trying to get my steps in, let me record this. So excuse me for the bad filming here. Hopefully the sound isn't too bad. But getting back into my point with my client, I told him when he first got here after we did our consultation, I said, if you were not living here full time, I would not be trying to entertain any women here for a long-term relationship. Secondly, if you're sending them money, they're going to say and do whatever it is that you want to hear or see because they want to continue have that money coming. Now, he told me yesterday, one of the girls he sends money to, she actually saves the money. But this main girl that he's been dealing with, she doesn't save any of the money. She just spends all of the money. And I'm not sure if she has a job or not, but for some reason, you guys don't listen to me, or you don't listen to other YouTubers when they tell you that a lot of these women, when you are not living here, it's, to me personally, my thought is, it's not considered a real relationship to them. And if you watch my other video, you know why beauty is basically so important here, so much like a currency, is because guys are willing to do anything to have it or obtain it. Now, from my understanding, my client doesn't have any intention on living in Colombia anytime soon. So meanwhile, you're just going to be sending a girl money that you're maybe only going to be seeing a few times a year. Max, you can only be in Colombia for 6 months because you're not doing any kind of digital nomad visa or extended tourist visa. So you're only going to be, well, you're not doing any long-term visa. So you're just coming within that 6 months that you can come, and that's it. So for half the year, and not even really half the year, because this girl is not seeing you for a full 6 months in a row. It's maybe 2 weeks here, maybe it's a week here, maybe it's another 2 weeks here, if that. So she only has to be on her P's and Q's during that time. Now, this made me think about this. What I want to start to do for you guys that do have these loyalty tests, not loyalty tests, for you guys that do have these long-term relationships, or you think you have a long-term relationship and it's long distance, what I want to start offering to you guys is loyalty tests. If you are interested in getting a loyalty test with a girl that's here in Medellin, not in overall Colombia, she needs to be here in Medellin, because I can actually do more because I live here. Now, I can test her for the most part because I know the city well. I have a pretty, I would say, curated, decent, high value Instagram, and I can reach out and see if she's willing to go, potentially go out or something. Now, of course, I don't plan on actually meeting up with the girl or anything like that. I'm not trying to do anything spying where I'm going to be following anybody around. But if she is willing to give me a phone number and go out with me, then I would say she failed that test. So if this is something you may be interested in, having a loyalty test with a girl that you may be dealing with here, let me know and we can set that up. Now, back to the actual video here. So he has about 3 or 4 girls that he's sending money to, and he doesn't live here. And as I said, from my understanding, he doesn't plan on living here anytime soon. I told him this is not a good decision. You're wasting your money. Essentially, these women are, probably have 3 other foreigners that they're doing the same thing with. But, men will be men. So with that being said, the whole purpose of this video was to tell you guys it is not worth entertaining long distance relationships if you think it's serious. Now, if you are okay with entertaining it and you know, hey, when you come into town, she's yours and you have her for that short period of time and she's probably gonna do whatever she's gonna do once you leave, cool. You guys have somewhat of a unspoken mutual agreement or understanding. Hey, that's your prerogative, that's your business. But if you're someone who thinks that you have a girl that is potentially being faithful to you, I'm telling you that more than likely she is not. And if you're sending her money, you got to understand that you are a source of income for her. So she's going to say and do whatever it is that she needs to in order for her to keep that money coming in. Now, like I said, for anyone that may be interested in potentially having a loyalty test done with the girl here in Medellin, send me an email or you can write me on Instagram and we can set it up where I can do a loyalty test with your girl. Now, this is something that I'm going to charge for, just to make that clear. I don't want a bunch of guys just hitting me up and expecting me to do all these loyalty tests for free. But like I said, this is a good way to know if you potentially have a good one or you just got one that's just entertaining you from afar and doing whatever she needs to do to appease you while you're away so she can keep that money coming in. So if this may be something you're interested in, let me know. That's it for this video. I appreciate you guys watching, and remember, like, comment, and subscribe. Guys, comments right now with the YouTube algorithm is what is helping the videos do well, or our channel do well. It's engagement. So please comment. Even if you don't know what to comment, just comment where you're watching from, and that in itself will help. Appreciate you guys, and until the next one, you guys be easy.